Hey YouTube, let's make a DIY planner using Canva today. I'm using Canva Pro for this, so to create the planner, again, you might want to sign up for Canva. I'll leave my referral link below. Every bit helps, so thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a design, and I'm actually going to do a new size. I want this to be happy planner size, so that's 7 by 9.25 inches. Let's change this to inches. 7 by 9.25. If you want a regular sheet of paper or something like that, you would just put 8.5 by 11. But again, some of those sizes are also in Canva. I just don't know them as far as like A4, A2. I didn't feel like Googling. So we'll do 7 by 9.25, create a new design, and it comes up as blank. So the pretty cool thing about this, and I'm just going to show you guys the one that I created already. And here it goes. Let it load. Okay. So all of this is pretty much elements and text that I got out of Canva. You can use a lot of templates, elements, text, and fonts that are already in Canva. You can also upload your own images. You can upload your own fonts, whatever works for you. You can have color palettes. So you just got to figure out what works best for you and the design that you want to do. This font that I use is actually one that's already in Canva. If you want some cool fonts, I downloaded some from Creative Fabrica and I uploaded them into Canva as well. But let's go ahead and design. So I'm going to change the background color of this page. And I'm just using some colors that I already have in my brand logo, my brand kit, for brand colors. I searched a rainbow and then I said, oh no, not a rainbow. I want a boho rainbow. So this is where I got my rainbow. And I found the rainbow under elements. Go ahead. I like this one. I enlarged it. And then what I did was I changed the color to get the color that I wanted. So ignore that heading, subheading. There's some text that came in the editing of this video. But I'm just going to change the colors to something that I like, kind of play around with it. This salmon sushi is just a color palette that's in Canva. And I'm going to delete out these because they came in by mistake. And I'm going to copy the rainbow, just clicking on it, copy and paste. You can also Control-C, Control-V. And I just duplicated it because I wanted it to look like that. So now I'm just going to move these around, get them the size that I want them to be. And I'm going to add in a rectangle because this rectangle is basically going to help me to break up the middle of that rainbow. So you won't be able to see that gap in the middle anymore. Make it the same color as the background. And then I am done. So since I'm done with that rainbow and my rectangle, let's go ahead and add some text. I'm going to add a heading and I'm going to use that font that I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to type out good vibes. And I'm going to, like I said, change the font to that Shuriken. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Go ahead and enlarge this and kind of center it. Then I want to add an effect on it. So get it where I like it. I'm going to add an effect. I want a shadow. I like that. The default is just fine for now. Change the color to what's already on the document. Oh, wait, maybe something else would be great. So just kind of playing around to see visually what I like. Love this peachy looking color with the boho theme. Bring it up, and then I'm going to add in some more text. Just kind of align it where you want it. You see me always playing around. So I'm going to add in some more text and just put 2021 to 2022. I'm kind of zoomed out a little bit so you can't see everything, but you can get the gist, I hope. And then I just made this some unique colors here. Fixed up my rectangle because I realized it was way too wide. And did some more aligning because I'm always aligning, fixing things up. It never fails when I'm trying to get everything perfectly centered and visually appealing to me. All right, so I'm just going to change that font, and then I'm going to change the color to something that vibes. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm also going to add some elements to the back because I'm like a busy design. So I'm going to add some polka dots. Let's find me some gold polka dots actually, or something colorful. Will these pink ones work? Yep, they will, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the color of them. So I'm going to change them from pink to, that's cute, but no. Just always playing around. Yep, love it, to brown. Move that to the back. And then I'm just going to copy these polka dots throughout. So you may do something a little different. This is just how I design. Again, please, you could make these polka dots bigger. You could widen it across the whole page. Just do what works for you. This is how I get my designs done. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add my polka dots everywhere by copying and pasting. Then I'm also going to position them to the back so that they're not in front of the design. All right, so now I'm just going to add a page by clicking add page underneath the page that I've already created. All right, with the new page created, it's time to create the next page in the planner. So I'm going to go back to elements and I'm going to find a rounded rectangle just so I can have a nice background on this page. So I really like to have the page plus something on top of it, then my text and design or graphic, whatever need be. I grab that rounded rectangle, rotate it 90 degrees, and expand it out to fit the page. Now, once it's fit the page and I just kind of center it how I would like it, I'm going to change the color because obviously I don't want black on this planner. That looks good. Let's have something bright and white. And then I'm going to go to templates and I'm going to search for a calendar that is 2021. To avoid having the calendar pop in on that same page that I'm working on, I went ahead and added a new page. So I clicked it, the one that I liked. It actually really matches in case I wanted to use this same calendar or this page in my planner. But what I'm going to do, because I'm starting with August, is I'm just going to go ahead and grab the elements from this calendar and I'm going to copy and paste them onto my page that I want. Let me lock that so it doesn't move. And I'm just going to grab that and move everything around, grab in some calendar features, because the best thing about this is it's already done for me. So I don't have to recreate a calendar in Canva. Now, again, I could use this same element that's already done, but I'm just going to use the features that I need from it to kind of make it my own. So I'm going to copy and paste everything and align it up. I'm going to eventually change the fonts to get where I want them to be. And I'm also going to do the same thing, but with a 2021 calendar. So be mindful when you do this. If you do it this way, instead of creating your own calendar, the first time I made my planner, I created my own calendar from scratch. So that was very tedious work, but be mindful if you grab two different kind of elements, because some calendars start on Sunday, some start on Saturday, some start on Monday. So with this one, once I found a 2021 calendar, I needed to adjust it for the dates to actually align the same. So I just selected all and I'm going to change this to the font that I want it to be. And if anything is grouped, you will need to ungroup it so that all your fonts apply. So I changed the fonts and the color is not really what I want it to be either. But what I'll do is will come back and edit it before I finish out this whole page. Okay, so let's find our 2022 calendar. And again, just be mindful of the dates that it starts, because I messed up on that, but I can always fix it just doing the alignment and correcting it. I got this one, and even though it's a completely different template, that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it in starting with January, move on from there. I don't need that page anymore. So there isn't a 2022 that's the same template as the one that I already found. So I'm just going to, again, grab that one that I see right there and go from January forward. So you see me just grab January, and I'm going to grab the months that I need. And when I say grab, I literally mean copy and paste them from one page to another one. And all I did was, once I copied and pasted everything, I did the alignment, I changed the font, I made sure all the numbers, all the letters, all the words were sized to the same size. You see me aligning everything because I wanted it to be neat and in order, just for my sanity. So this calendar runs from August through July, and I'll just go ahead and copy paste everything and make my months as I would like them to be. In this part, you can see I'm just finishing up the alignment of everything, making sure all the numbers are sized properly, all the letters, numbers, everything is just equidistant and looks good, because I don't want anything to be out of place. And I'm also grouping the numbers just so that they all can get selected and I can position them to the top. I like to position it top, based on the top, because that way everything is just aligned at the top. All right, so that one was already done. This looks great. I'm going to go ahead and add some lines at the bottom just because I feel like it's good to have some notes at the bottom. And to do lines, we're just going to go back to our handy dandy elements. Go ahead and search lines. You'll see them come up just right there. You can have a variety of lines, or you can just go to lines and shapes. That's one of the first options. I selected that one. I'm just going to size it down and change the color so that I can have a line down bottom. But before I change the color, I just copied and pasted and aligned everything. For the finishing touch on this one, I need to just add a header. So I'm just going to put 2021, 22 from the other page and calendar. So here's where you can also get to designing. And this is my month at a glance page that I have on the planner that I actually printed. So what you'll see here is I added a new page on the one we're doing, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to change the background. I'm going to add in some elements, and I'm going to make this page my own. And a lot of the elements that I use are rectangles, squares, just different things to make those boxes that I want on my page. I also added in some gold polka dots in the background because, like I said, I like to get busy a little bit on my design. So when you watch this, you'll see me change the colors of the boxes, because one thing to remember is you'll be writing on these pages, so you don't want to have dark backgrounds too much. You want to have something that you can actually write on and see a pen. Everybody uses white pens. Not everybody's going to put stickers and washi tape all in their planner or add in new sticky notes. So just be mindful of that if you're making this for yourself or for a customer, because sometimes, I got a little ahead of myself and I was making these dark boxes, but you'll definitely want to make sure it's something that you can see with pen. Awesome. I love it. Sometimes you really do love the design that you make for yourself, so you got to pat yourself on the back. So I'm going to add a new page. I'm going to go back to elements, and guys, I'm just going to search planner and look at all these planner options you have already created in Canva for you. You don't have to rewrite the wheel. So this is pretty cool. The first time that I did mine, I rewrote the wheel, you guys. I made all of my pages myself. Like, I love this. Look, this actually goes with the theme. And even if it didn't, I could change the colors. But you'll see like this calendar here on the one that I made for myself. I actually created my own calendar. But this weekly planner, I love it. I'm going to add a new page. Let's see if there's anything else I want to add in as far as pages or elements that I'm finding in Canva. And just search for whatever works for you. I love this weekly schedule. I actually have that in one of my planners. So I might choose that again. Do whatever floats your boat. This is yours to make your own. You can change these colors. We can have fun with that. But I'm just going to carry on and make my pages as I so choose, because this is for me. This one I'm not selling. Well, not right now, but if you're interested in it, let me know, because it's a lot of pages. The planner that I made for myself is actually about 300 pages, so it's a lot of printing. But as I search through, I just like to look through the elements to see what all Canva has. You never know what you'll find. And then I just search for daily planners, different stuff that you can find. Like, check these out. These are pretty cool stuff. You can make your own. You can change the colors, whatever need be. So one of the things I was saying about the planner that I made, I just used elements. I've created a page, added some fonts, some rectangles, and went to town. And then I just added some more elements, some text, some circles, some lines. And that's about it. For the calendar, I actually just used squares, and I made some pages behind it. You could do the same thing on this one, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to get into that much detail. If you need to know how to use Canva, beyond that, again, it's just the elements and the text that I use. That's pretty much it. It can, you can search in here for an August calendar under elements, but I wasn't finding anything that I wanted, because what I needed was a calendar that stretched over 2 pages. Like I said, because this is kind of a happy planner calendar or happy planner style. And I wanted it just like the happy planner planners, where when you open it, you have that spread. This is probably making the tutorial a little long, but I'll show you what I mean when I say I wanted that spread. You notice here, it's like 1 page. And again, I just made this calendar so that the calendar goes across 2 pages. Since it goes across 2 pages, when I open it, it's going to be the left side and the right side with the full calendar, and I'll be able to see it. And to make this, I just did a bunch of squares, and I put something behind it, like another square behind it, so you had that kind of gap between the blocks. For my daily page, I again used just rectangles or squares, whatever works for you, rounded rectangles, some lines, and made my daily page. So this is the layout of my planner that I printed with a note page, and that's it. Since I had the initial design done, all I did was just duplicate the pages and change the colors or some of the elements for the future months. And you'll see here, you can only have 100 pages, so it's not going to be. This one was about 300 pages, so I'm only have the first 4 months on this planner. But as you can see, each month has a different color, and it's pretty, but it's the same layout, because I didn't want to recreate the wheel knowing how much time it took me to create 1 month. And I just wanted to have something cute, something pretty, and something effective for myself. So what I did was I just duplicated the pages. It's blurred out right now because I can't duplicate over 100 pages, and this is 96 pages. But all you'll do is select them all by holding shift and select, and then just duplicate your pages. And I made enough so that I have about 5 weeks worth of 1 month. And you just duplicate, and drag the pages where you would like them to be. You'll see for the most part that the whole design is the same. It's just different colors for each different month and different elements. And then what I did was I used the same, every 5 months or so, or every 4 months, I just went back and used the same color. So I have about 4 different color schemes that I repeated throughout the planner. So as you can see, all of the months just kind of flow. It looks good at this view. Blah, blah, blah. Keep going. Like November, you get these colors that all just work together for me. It looks a little weird sometimes on screen, but printed out, I think it came up very nicely. And then I'll go to the other planner that I have created where I just copied this. I made a copy of this one, and then I just did the full second the second 4 months of the year for me. And then you see on there, I have the last 4 months. And really all I did, I'm telling you guys, was just duplicate it and copy the colors and change the month and the number so that they correspond with the right date. You'll see me just kind of going through. I'll show you guys real quick that it's the same stuff. It just has different dates on it, different months. So let's go ahead and talk about how I downloaded it. I'll just go ahead and click in there, download as a PDF print. And if you wanted to have the crop marks and the bleed, then make sure that you add that option. Since this is 7 by 9.25, I did print it out with the crop marks and bleed. If it's an 8.5 by 11, that's not necessary. Okay, let's get into assembly and printing and figure out how this all comes together in the end, because I know you have questions about the paper and stuff. Use a cutter from Walmart, my own Afro Pivotal Plans disc, and a Happy Planner punch. But I print this on different types of paper because in this instance, I just had so much white paper around the house that I wanted to use it and get it out of here. But I recommend a kind of like a 28-pound paper. Don't get anything too heavy because then your planner is going to be way too thick. So what I do is I actually designed it in Canva and I print it out with the crop marks, but I just cut it down off of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I cut it down to 7 by 9.25. So this cutter, like I said, is a sharp line cutter. It's from Walmart, or excuse me, swing line. It's from Walmart, and I don't cut too many pages at once because if I do, the pages will become misaligned and it gets all messed up. So normally what I'll do is I'll cut it at 7.75. Again, I just take some extra sheets just to make sure it fits in there well and my blade can cut through it. So I'll start at 7.75. I've actually marked it on my cutter with some washi tape so I know what to do. Make sure every page is aligned. I'll cut it at 7.75. And again, like I said, I mark my cutter with washi. Do whatever works for you, but you can see the crop lines, kind of their tick marks on the paper. Then I cut at 10 1/8. And if I'm getting these measurements incorrect, don't judge me, please. I'm just going by the tick marks and what I think is 10 by 1/8, but it's that first tick there. And so I'm just cutting off the excess. And then I get down to 7 even, and I'll cut off the excess there. And if you want to leave a little extra on the outside, you can. It's up to you. This is 9.25, so I'll just cut off the bottom so that it equals 7 by 9.25. So you see me just really cutting off the excess, and you can do that however works for you. You might need to run it back once or twice just to get those little slivers off of there. So that's what I did there. And now I'm just going to cut 7 even, and I'll have a 7 by 9.25 page out of 8.5 by 11. And again, this is just me doing it how I do it. If you do this differently, please don't hesitate to comment below. But that's the great thing about being a crafter. We all can do stuff differently, bring our own flair to it. I just taught myself this last year. So if you have some better suggestions, I'm all ears. Once I've cut my pages, and I just start kind of where I'm at with the few so I can show you what I did here. I grabbed my Create 365 Happy Planner punch, and this is from Michael's, and I just punch it out. So you'll see me just punch, and make sure you don't punch a lot of pages because the pages end up, depending on how thick your paper is, they may get stuck, and it says max 3 sheets, but you may get away with a little more pieces in that punch, just depending on how thick everything is. So I'm just going to punch the pages, making sure that everything is aligned, get it all the way secured back against the punch so your punches don't come out short. I've had that happen. If they do, don't throw away the paper. Like, this one is for me. I'm not selling it. If I were selling it, I would make sure everything were perfect. But if it's for you and your punches come out short or something, don't worry. They'll still go on your disc. So you can kind of cheat your way through that one. And like I said, this paper for this set is kind of thick. I used all kind of paper that I had in my house. I just wanted to get rid of some white paper, and I needed a new planner. I feel like this should have been done a long time ago, but with back to school coming and everything, I figured why not? Let's just go ahead and get it done. No sense in thinking on what we should have, could have done. Let's just do it and be over with. But you see, everything is punched, right? So this is really just 1 month. I take out my Afro planner punches, my Afro disc. They are sold on my website on Pivotal Plans. So these are my puff discs, my puff planner disc, and they have a girl on it. That first part, getting it on there, is a little hard. You can always just kind of flip it half and half to do it, but this paper, like I said, was real thick, so it was a little unmanageable. So I recommend like a 28-pound. Don't get something too thick. Like, don't get no 110-pound cardstock for your planner. That's just not going to happen. 65-pound maybe okay. I'll link the best paper that I found when I was doing my planners last year to work. And the paper that I really love the most is the paper that Erin Condren uses. Happy Planner paper to me is a little thin, but to each our own. You guys got to figure out what works for you, because you could even use copy paper. It's just that the copy paper ends up becoming kind of see-through. Since, like I said, I was grabbing white paper all around the house, some of the white paper I use in this is copy paper, but I can definitely tell a difference in the thickness and how it was, you can see through on some pages. So just figure out what works best for you, and also what works best for your budget and your clients if you're going to sell these. So you see me just flipping my pages, and what I'm going to do next is just real easy flip through, because obviously I've got it on my disc, and I'll go ahead and finish up my planner. So this part is the same routine repetitive. This is a pretty thick planner. I have a few pages now. It's like 290 pages, but I just download it in Canva, and then I print the PDF with the crop marks and everything that I've printed out from Canva, and I flip it on the long edge in my printer. So now my baby is done. I can write in her and I can get my life in order. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. As always, take the meat and leave the bones. If you have any questions, let me know here on the Facebook group, and please like and subscribe. Thank you again. Love ya.